Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot, and tonight we're going to take a look at the 9 confirmed dinosaurs that are going to appear in Jurassic World Evolution when it releases next year. Now, of course, we're going to see many more dinosaurs than this down the line, and we're going to do a video later this week where we speculate on what those dinosaurs could be, based on that big dig site image we saw in the Jurassic World in-game footage from the Frontier Expo. We saw a lot of dig sites, and to give an example, we saw a dig site on the southern coast of Britain, which would certainly suggest very heavily that we are likely to see baryonyx in the game, and given baryonyx was on the Jurassic World website, we can then extrapolate that it's very, very likely. But for now, we're just going to take a look at the 9 confirmed dinosaurs. If you want to find out a little bit more of these and read a couple of sneaky jokes, there's a mini bio in the bottom right corner, so that gives you just some very, very basic information about all the dinosaurs we're going to look at today. So let's go through this fairly quickly, give you guys some information. First up, Parasaurolophus, whatever you want to call it. Our standard backbone herbivore for the Jurassic Park series. Very rarely prominent, was bigger in the second film than the first film. You know, they got captured. They were in that scene where they're running down the, sort of across the field where they're getting hunted. But really isn't a major facet of Jurassic Park, but it's one of those dinosaurs you have to include. It's kind of like the hearty backbone of the series, you know, just a nice, friendly looking herbivore. Next up we have Velociraptor, which of course is actually a Dakota Raptor or a Utah Raptor, depending on which side of the fence you fall. Personally, I'm a Utah Raptor man, let's not get into it. But Velociraptor is, along with Tyrannosaurus Rex and perhaps Brachiosaurus, the dinosaur that is most emblematic of the Jurassic Park franchise. Along with T-Rex, it's the only dinosaur to appear in all of the films, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, I can't think of any others that have. So the Velociraptor is obviously a huge deal. And for the first 3 films, the Velociraptor was very much the villain. It wasn't until Jurassic World that Velociraptors were held in a more friendly sort of light and became unique characters like Blue, etc. And even this one here has these kind of blue markings on it, so maybe we're going to get some unique dinosaurs, or at least some unique coloration between bred dinosaurs. That would be really cool. Had to include Velociraptor. Obviously they were going to include Velociraptor, but it's nice to see it make an appearance. Next up, Brachiosaurus. One of those dinosaurs, again, that's just quintessential Jurassic Park. It was, of course, the first dinosaur you ever see in Jurassic Park history. Now, it wasn't the first dinosaur to actually appear in Jurassic Park history. The first dinosaur in the first novel that sort of makes an appearance is Compsognathus. But in terms of the films, it was Brachiosaurus, and it had a very important role because before that Jurassic Park film, before the first film, dinosaurs were thought of as these monstrous beasts by the general public. You know, every dinosaur film had the murdering, like, cowboys, basically, and then this beautiful, majestic Brachiosaurus comes along and kind of completely reverses that just on its own. It was incredible. It was the moment people knew Jurassic Park was this awe-inspiring blockbuster. It's quintessential Jurassic Park. It is the Jurassic Park herbivore. Next up, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Check out the diet. Again, probably the dinosaur of Jurassic Park, really. If you had to pick one dinosaur to represent the series, it would be Tyrannosaurus Rex. This one here looks very clean and shiny and healthy. There were a couple in the trailer, or at least in the shown images, that looked a little worse for wear, so maybe we're going to see, again, like Blue, maybe we could see Rexy come in as a unique dinosaur, or maybe it's a sign that if dinosaurs get into a fight and survive, they can show that damage long term. That would be really cool. But obviously T-Rex had to be in there. It was a big facet of the first CGI trailer. It was the main dinosaur in that trailer. We saw one breaking out and eating people and then crushing the Jeep at the end. All very cool. Very excited to see this break out, and hopefully to see it have some unique dino duels with other dinosaurs. We had that back in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, particularly with the T-Rex when it fought things like the Spinosaurus or the Triceratops. It had a unique battle animation, and it would then determine the winner. Hopefully we're going to see something like that, and parts of the trailer that we'll talk about in a second certainly suggest that we're going to. Our 5th dinosaur is Camarasaurus, and a kind of blink and you'll miss it cameo. It appeared a few times in the trailer, but it's not really a dinosaur people focus on, if we're honest, but it's just kind of there to round out the sauropod lineup. There are 3 sauropods. Out of the 9 dinosaurs, 3 of them are sauropods, which is actually quite a high percentage. I would be surprised if there are any more. I think 4 would maybe be the max. I think any more than that is pushing it. The problem with sauropods, unless you go for some of the weirder ones, they kind of all have the same basic shape. Yes, the necks are longer and shorter, or they droop down, and the tails are pointing in different directions and stuff. But I don't think a sauropod, other than a Brachiosaurus, is particularly a dinosaur that inspires excitement in the general populace. No harm, sauropods, I'm very sorry, I'm sure you're offended, but it's kind of true. But Camarasaurus is there to kind of be a smaller brachiosaur, just kind of round out the lineup quite nicely. Next up, my favourite dinosaur, it's Triceratops, and this screen grab is actually from the Triceratops fighting in what looks to be a unique animation with the T-Rex, where they kind of round each other and sort of psych each other out. So that scene is the one that's making me very excited for the potential of those unique animation dino duels. Triceratops, of course, been in... Was it in the first film? I can't really remember. Oh, of course it was in the first film. Triceratops was in the first and second Jurassic Park films, hasn't really been seen since. In the first film it was a bit sick. In the second film it broke out of the cage and kind of trashed the camp where they were doing the little Jurassic Park presentation. Hasn't really been a factor since. Is as the big fighter in the herbivores, along with the Ankylosaurus that we'll talk about in a minute. I'd like to see the Triceratops have a bigger role in Jurassic World Evolution and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom when that comes out next year as well. It's my favourite dinosaur, I want them to talk about it all the time, basically. And his fighting friend is the Ankylosaurus, or Ankylosaurus if you are that way inclined, which you shouldn't be. Ankylosaurus, again, was much more prominent in the fourth film in Jurassic World than it ever had been before. We saw it fight with the Indominus, it lost to the Indominus, because of course it did. But it was really there to show that even this powerful, tough, heavily armoured dinosaur can be taken down by the Indominus Rex. But it was nice to see the Ankylosaurus have a bigger role. It's a dinosaur a lot of people quite like. It's got, it's a little tank, and it's one of those dinosaurs, again, that gives people hope of a herbivore properly fighting back and beating up the carnivores, which everyone wants to see every now and again, you know? Then we have Stegosaurus, my sister's favourite dinosaur. Don't know why you need to know that. Big role in the second film, more than the others. Was there in the others and in Jurassic World in particular, just sort of in the fields, basically, but wasn't really a big factor. Was the first dinosaur, however, we see in... No, second dinosaur we see in The Lost World, after the compy, I should say, where it tries to kill Sarah Harding, basically, so that was her fault for being really annoying, so... yeah, well done, Stegosaurus. And our final dinosaur, number 9, not from the in-game footage, is the Apatosaurus. Now, this was only in the CGI trailer, and only in at the very end of the CGI trailer. However, it's not very surprising that it's part of the film, because... part of the game, I should say, because it was part of the film. The Apatosaurus was actually quite a big factor in Jurassic World. It was in the scene where they come across this field, and there's like 8 of them, and they're all dead, except one that's kind of just clinging on to life, and it was to show this Indominus Rex just hunting and murdering without remorse. It wasn't hunting for food, it was hunting because it could, because it wanted to, because it had to kill, basically. So they were really used to show just how scary the Indominus Rex was meant to be. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Any dinosaurs you guys particularly want to see? What of these 9 dinosaurs are you most excited to see in action? For me, it's probably the Triceratops, but I really do want to see raptor packs break out and murder everyone, so I'm kind of half and half on that. Same with the T-Rex, actually. Oh, I want to see them all. Very excited, as I'm sure you guys all are as well. Thank you so much for joining me as per usual. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for lots of Jurassic World Evolution news, and of course gameplay when the game actually comes out. Thank you for joining me, cheers, much love, and as always, bye-bye.